Welcome back to the Essentially You podcast. I am your host, Dr. Marisa Snyder, and I'm here to help you rock your hormones and feel great in your body so that you can reclaim more energy, vitality, and joy, and become the CEO of your health. Let's jump on in. 12 years ago, if you were to ask me if I prioritize self-care, I would have told you I don't have time. I am too busy handling my business. And then I would have followed it up with some beliefs that I had about self-care. That self-care sounded pretty selfish and very indulgent. And again, I would have reminded you that who has time for that when there are important things to do? Let's just say I had a lot of repatterning to do around taking care of myself. That and asking for help. I was always the person who said, I got to go do this by myself. Obviously, I had a lone wolf complex because I believed that I couldn't ask for help. I just needed to do it by myself. Until this day, when my past trauma stuff comes up and I get triggered into old belief patterns, I can temporarily fall back into those limiting beliefs. Motherhood 100% has triggered up some of these beliefs from time to time, and let me tell you, they don't serve anyone, especially myself. I know that when I am not well taken care of via my self-care rituals, or if I'm not a priority, how can I come from a place of feeling good or feeling well-resourced? I can't. I simply can't. I know that when I'm not resourced, I'm more edgy, I'm short, I'm more resentful. I mean, it's embarrassing to admit, but it's true. Like, I am not my best self when I am not taking care of myself. When I don't take care of myself with these 5 daily habits that I'm going to be sharing with you today, I am not who I want to be for my family, my friends, my partner, you, but definitely for me. Time and time again, when I think about the things that move the needle for boosting my energy and my feel-good mood and mindset, it's these 5 rituals that I never skip. Without them, I don't function well, and my stuff comes up more often than I'm cool with. In a nutshell, I don't feel like the person I want to be. And that is so important to me. I want to show up as the person I want to become, to the point that I ask myself, how does my future vision self show up in this moment as a mom, a partner, a CEO, a friend, a colleague? Maybe you've been there too, when you put yourself on the back burner throughout the day until the evening, and then you feel a bit edgy and bummed that you are giving from an empty cup. That's why I wanted to share what has helped me over the past 12 years. Now, I'll tell you what, I have studied self-care, I've studied trauma, I've studied the stress response system, and so much more to just have a better understanding. And I've also experimented with so many rituals, habits, and self-care, just everything under the sun, finding the right ones that really move the needle for me. And that's really the caveat about today's episode too, is this is what's working for me. And this is what I've studied that has helped to work with a lot of people. And there's a lot of other ways that we can show up. And I'm going to share some other quick rituals and self-care strategies at the very end of this episode. Because if these 5 don't resonate with you, because they probably won't all resonate with you, you have others to choose from. If you are feeling like you are not as resourced as you want to be, you're feeling burned out, you're feeling like you are not coming from a full cup, and you want to integrate some simple habits that will help elevate not only your energy, but your mood, your mindset, and just how you show up in the world. So today, more than ever before in my life, I have gotten very clear on the non-negotiables that make a noticeable difference in my ability to function and feel good. That is the big piece I want to bring home, was that I'm always trying to show up with feel good energy. One of my mantras is, I choose to feel good now. And I think so much of how we operate in the world is about choosing and deciding. And so these are the rituals that I do so that I can feel good the entire day, because I believe that not only I deserve that, I deserve to feel good, but I want to be able to resonate that feel good energy to the people that matter most to me. So without further ado, here they are in no particular order. Number 1 of my 5 daily habits and rituals is meditation. Here's the deal about meditation. I know it can feel hard, especially when your mind is racing about everything you are going to do or got to do, or all the things that you're juggling that day. But what I know to be true is meditation isn't perfect. That's not the goal. As my dear friend and meditation expert always says, Emily Fletcher, meditation is about getting good at life, not getting good at meditation. Meditation opens the door for more mindfulness and a more calm, just energy in my life, which is super important with a toddler. It is necessary to help remove triggers, stress, and anxiousness. Now, personally, I love Ziva meditations, which is Emily Fletcher's signature meditation. I also love some of Gabby Bernstein's meditations, and I do many of Dr. Joe Dispenza's meditations. I rotate through a lot of these meditations, and I have them all downloaded on my phone so that I'm able to do them anywhere. Although I'll be honest with you, I typically just do them at the beach or at home, or when I'm on vacation, obviously like in a hotel room. That's typically where I'm doing it. And sometimes I also do a walking meditation. I know Dr. Joe Dispenza has walking meditations that are really potent and powerful. So meditation is definitely one of those things that I have found, moves the needle for me and clears up a lot of my junk. Number 2, walking. I walk every single day, sometimes multiple times a day. But if I walk just one time, it's always in the morning for several reasons. One, most of my rituals are in the morning because that's when the juice is worth the squeeze for me. That is when I am channeling all that feel-good energy from the morning to translate throughout my day. Like it's like a Care Bear stare into the rest of my day, especially into my evening. Number 2, walking outside in nature every morning just feels yummy. It also sets up your circadian rhythms to really work for you. It boosts those mitochondria. You get that little added vitamin D boost, although I do wear good natural mineral sunscreen every day and a hat, but you're still getting a little bit of that vitamin C. And I love practicing mindfulness by just observing all the plants and the flowers outside, especially this time of the year. Now, if I do get a walk the second or third time, I try to walk after dinner to help stabilize my blood sugar levels. And hands down, walking has made such a big impact on me emotionally, mentally, hormonally, and metabolically that I am committed to walking outside for life. It is one of my favorite things to do. And when I'm walking, like I said, sometimes I do a walking meditation. Sometimes I listen to a really sexy, like Aretha Franklin playlist. I'm also loving Bill Withers right now. I'm just stuck in the 70s and the 80s. when it comes to music, or I listen to a great book. I'm usually doing something, right, that really kind of just fuels my mind and educates me or just has me in a really just yummy Zen place. So that's how walking goes down for me. Number 3 is weight training. Now, I've been working out since I was 18 years old, and there have only been a small handful of times that I haven't worked out 3 to 6 times a week. But now that I'm in my 40s, I know how critical it is for me to build and maintain muscle mass, not only for my metabolic health, but for my brain and my energy health. Now, I don't weight train every single day. I want to make that super clear, but I do move my body every single day outside of walking. I weight train 4 to 5 times a week, about 30 minutes each session. Anything more than 30 minutes is too much stress on my body and I just get depleted. Sometimes my weight training sessions are only 20 minutes. Like it just depends on what I'm doing. I also mix in yoga. I have my Peloton bike. I do core work 3 times a week. Basically, movement has always been life for me. And it keeps me grounded and it guarantees that I don't cut anyone due to too much stress buildup. I'll tell you what, if I'm not working out, I will cut somebody. So working out is a mainstay, and that has probably been my biggest non-negotiable as a mom, is making sure that I have time to work out. Number 4, saturating my cells and my brain with key hormone-loving nutrients to me is a must. Now, I don't know about you, but I take my supplements in the morning with my paleo chocolate raspberry green smoothie. I believe I have that recipe in my Essential Oils Menopause Solution book. I also have it in like my smoothie guide as well. And I can link to the smoothie guide for this episode in case you want to go check out some yummy green smoothies. And here's the deal. Supplements are a game changer. They've been a game changer for me. Before my pregnancy, during my pregnancy, and most definitely after my pregnancy, supplements have made the biggest difference in my overall energy levels. Now, I wish I could say that food was the only factor, but at the end of the day, it is supplements. And it's due to the fact that many of us are burning through nutrients, critical nutrients, fast. And really the fastest way to replenish them is with high quality supplementation. I have looked for other ways to do this. There just isn't. So my non-negotiables that I take every single morning with my green smoothie, it's going to be my Magnesium Restore, because we need gobs and gobs of magnesium. It's an essential mineral that allows your muscles to recover, your brain to function, your body to function, your hormones to be made, your digestive system to work, your mitochondria to work. I mean, it's a supplement for boosting energy. And we just don't often have enough of it. I take a lot of it and still my levels are pretty much in they're not even optimal range yet. They're like a little bit higher than a normal range. And I take a lot of magnesium. So that just goes to show how much many of us are just burning through this stuff, right? Next is Activated B Complete. I love my Activated B Complete with the Essentially Whole brand. It's a full spectrum B vitamin that provides an ideal balance of methylated B vitamins that really absorb and saturate your cells. We need vitamin D or vitamin B, all of our B vitamins for optimal energy and metabolic health. B12 supports blood cells and oxygen circulation. B9, folate, produces red blood cells and keeps your brain healthy. B6 keeps your brain and your liver healthy, functioning at optimal levels. I mean, they all play a role, right? Choline is massive, which is B2. I mean, all of them. Niacin. You need a full spectrum vitamin B complete complex. And I've been so grateful that my B levels have been in stellar shape for many, many years now, given that I'm taking this. Next, another thing to be looking at on labs is vitamin D. I have a whole podcast episode on this topic, but it is difficult to maintain good vitamin D levels. So I personally take it every single day. And because I take it every single day, my vitamin D levels look amazing. And so it's just one of those things, especially if you're dealing with a chronic condition or you've got hormonal imbalances or you have an autoimmune condition, you've got to keep the levels really, really robust. That's going to be important. Another one that I take that is so critical because, again, I am doing the most as a mama and running my company and all the things that I do. So I take Adrenal Love every single day. It's been a game changer for me. This supplement does a lot, and it does a lot for people doing a lot. So if you need to lower stress levels, you need an increase in energy, you need to balance out that stress response system. That's what this formula is all about. It also helps to repair the adrenals. It has vitamin C in it, B vitamins in it, essential amino acids, American ginseng, ashwagandha, and rhodiola. And what I love so much about these adaptogenic herbs is they will take you from zombie to feeling closer to yourself in like 7 to 10 days. So I have noticed a huge difference when I'm not taking it. I didn't take it when I was pregnant, but I am taking it now. And man, I mean, pregnancy is a whole nother ball game, but I'll tell you what, I never travel without this. And the last thing that I is a must for me, although I have others too, is going to be a thyroid support supplement. Now, if you're new to this podcast, I want to quickly share that I've struggled with low thyroid function and I do take medication for it. I take a desiccated thyroid medication called Armor. But I also do a lot more for my thyroid than that because my thyroid stems from an autoimmune condition. It's not the thyroid per se, it's the immune system, right? That is a little bit haywire. So I need to make sure that not only I'm supporting that thyroid, but also supporting my overall body and keeping my inflammation levels as low as possible. So I ended up, because it was so critical for me, especially when it comes to overall wellness, metabolism, skin health, digestion, mood, and so much more. Our thyroid needs to be dialed in. So I ended up curating my own thyroid support supplement. But if you are in postpartum or you're in perimenopause or you're in midlife, I always recommend looking at your labs, getting your thyroid labs ran, because it's often when we see thyroid issues. I know right now in where I'm at in the stage of my postpartum journey, with Kingston being a little over almost a year and a half old, not yet there, that's often when we start to see a major issue with women's thyroid. Yeah, I think it's like up to 25% of women in postpartum in the first 2 years of their baby's life is when their thyroid can be on the fritz. And a lot of people don't talk about this. And so again, it's always important to be looking at your thyroid labs just to make sure everything's looking good. But postpartum, perimenopause, and midlife are definitely areas where I see an uptick in women having thyroid issues. With that said, I think it's always a great idea to support your thyroid because it's running the show for so much of your metabolic function and your overall digestion and your cellular energy. So I love my thyroid supplement because it really delivers, and it has been a game changer for me, especially this last almost year and a half in postpartum. Now, if you do want to check out any of the supplements that I was talking about just now, you can always go to drmarisa.com/shop. They're there. And others that I love that I take every single day as well. I do take a lot of supplements. I'm not going to pretend like I don't. I always take a probiotic multiple times a day. I take digestive enzymes before every single meal. I take omega fatty acids. I love Nordic Naturals. I take choline with inositol as well. And I also take my liver support blend. So those are kind of the majority of the must-have non-negotiable supplements I take every single day to support my body, particularly my gut, my mitochondria, my thyroid, my adrenals, right? We think about, and then like the major players. And I think, if you are feeling run down, if you're feeling low resourced, supplements are going to be a major needle mover for you. And this leads me to the last but not least, number 5, and that is gratitude. Gratitude is everything. So I love to not only have my gratitude in the evening before going to bed, like I list off all the things that went great for me that day, that I'm so grateful for that day. I do it right before bed. But the most potent form of gratitude I do is I write it out in the morning. Not only do I gratitude journal in the morning, but I set the tone for my day in literally 5 minutes. So I've been writing in my daily self-care journal since I created it in 2019. It is a non-negotiable for my morning if I want to show up with that feel-good energy throughout the day. Like, this journal catapults me into the stratosphere. And here's why. Like, you imagine, what if you could leverage your self-care transformation even more by writing down your gratitude, your inspiration, your intentions, and your affirmations, right? Ooh, it's just like a stack of potency there. Now, studies have shown that daily acknowledging your gratitude helps to solidify your foundation by reducing pain, increasing self-reliance, resilience, enabling restful sleep, and enhancing self-worth. And I don't know about you, but so many of my triggers are driven when I'm struggling with self-worth, right? That comes up for us all the time, that worthiness. And so what if you could tap into self-worth for just a couple of minutes a day, right? Would that catapult how you feel throughout the day? Would it create that Care Bear stare of feel-good energy? I believe so. It definitely has done that for me. So, and what's so cool about it is you actually build new pathways in your brain by influencing your perception of the world around you. So there's another journal I've been writing in for many, many years, but it would take me about 15 minutes. And don't get me wrong, I still write in that journal too because it is so potent. But I wanted something, I remember I would tell friends and family members about the Speed Dial the Universe journal and how long it would take. And people were like, nah, I'm not writing for 15 minutes in the morning. I just don't have any interest in it. So I wanted to create something that was potent, that really got to it, that really got you results, that had you making beautiful commitments to yourself. Because, I think a good journal, really helps you define what your day looks like, how you're going to treat yourself, how you want your day to land. Sets the tone. Like, literally, you have got a blueprint, right? Before like 8 a.m. And then you get to sign it up, you sign it, and you just send it out to the universe. And man, it's amazing how the day will just unfold for you. So I love this journal. It takes 5 minutes to fill out in the morning, and it will help you approach life with abundance and gratitude and shifting your energy and intentions and desires. And to me, that is just worthwhile. So like I said, it just takes a couple of minutes. Like, you could have that level of a transformation when you're consistent, just a couple minutes a day. My self-care journal is also in my shop page if you want to go find that there, if you want to take a look at it. I gift this journal to so many people because it is so powerful, and it's just an easy and potent way to start your day. Now, if there was a bonus, and I always feel like I have bonuses on these types of lists, but if I had a bonus, I'm gonna get real with you. It's making coffee or matcha in the morning that I take with me on my walk. I mean, what's a sexy morning walk, a nature walk, without yummy, hot coffee or matcha with you, right? You need that hot beverage. The two go hand in hand. You will never see me without my Yeti mug walking in the morning. It won't happen. I won't go on that walk until I have my cup of hot matcha or hot coffee. Now, I make my matcha lattes or cappuccinos with frothy organic almond milk, cacao adaptogens from a company called Rasa, and some yummy, yummy cinnamon. And I'm usually, again, I'm listening to that playlist, or I'm listening to like some yummy music, and I'm doing an epic dance party, usually in the kitchen with Kingston when I'm making this. And what I love about this whole little ritual of me making my hot beverages in the morning, whether it's matcha or coffee, I'm doing it with the baby, I'm dancing, I'm having a great time, and I'm knocking out 3 self-love practices all in one. And so I love that. I like when I can stack self-care right on top of each other and it feels super good. And then I step into my next one, because once I have that coffee ready, I load the baby up in the stroller and we go for our walk. So there you have it. Those are the 5 rituals plus the bonus that I'm fully committed to every single day, so that I am a much nicer and joyful person to my family, myself, and the Dr. Marisa team. So after hearing my 5 daily habits that I know I went into some serious detail on, which ones immediately just connected with you, right? That you would feel you could do, that would cultivate more joy or that feel good energy? Or if you weren't feeling those, which I get, no worries, do you have a 2 or 3 or 2 or 5 that you never skip? And if you do, and you want to share them with me, holler at me on Instagram at Dr. Marisa, DrMariza, because I would love to hear about them. Shoot me a DM, let me know. And if you are looking for some ideas on habits that you would love to incorporate, I want to quickly share some rituals or self-care habits that take literally 5 minutes or less that can make a massive shift in your energy and emotional well-being. So the rituals are included. Here they are. Just having an affirmation about your belief in yourself or your worthiness, breathing deep for 1 minute or even 30 seconds can make a huge difference. Eating a protein-rich breakfast like eggs or a protein shake or a green smoothie with protein, a 5-minute meditation, aromatherapy, so simply breathing in an essential oil. I actually have a tangerine essential oil right next to me right now because it's later in the day and I just like that little boost of citrus energy. Day setting, celebrating yesterday's wins, reading something that you love, like a great novel or a personal development book, saying 2 to 3 affirmations, sending a voice memo to your bestie, right? Making your favorite drink and doing something. It could be like a couple yoga poses, doing something that like moves your body for a couple of minutes, even if it's just going outside of your backyard with your coffee or your whatever that is, your tea, and then just taking some deep breaths and coming back in. So with all of these little options here, what I recommend is you just picking 1 to 2 rituals that feel good to you. And then that final step is saying yes to you and choosing in. So deciding you are worthy of self-love can be the hardest part. Ooh, it was definitely hard for me back in the day. Shifting that belief was the most difficult part for me because until I could honor myself enough, I wasn't going to implement new changes that focused on my needs. This quote keeps showing up for me. Every next level of your life will demand a different version of you. I had to tell myself that what is going to get me to that higher, feel-good, energetic state is going to look different than when brought me to a low energetic place, right? That brought me to that yucky place, that, just funky mood kind of place. And that meant that I had to change my belief, my consciousness, my habits, and how I lived my life. And once that shift happened, the self-care was actually easy, right? It was the decision that was hard first. And then, I made sure I prioritized me. I made sure that I had the time. And you should know that a lot of the things that are on this list don't take up a lot of my time. I get in where I fit in. I make it happen throughout the day. And I think that's the most important, is that no matter how busy you are, no matter how much you've got going on, like if you are prioritizing you will find the time, because like Marie Forleo always says, everything is figure outable. And if there is a person that you need to be committed to and to figure out how to make self-care work for, it is you. So I hope that you reap all the benefits and rewards from your self-care rituals, and that they fuel you up, and that it helps you to show up the way that you want to in the world. Well, thank you so much for listening in on the Essentially You podcast. This show is all about providing tools to rock your hormones and feel amazing in your body. If there is someone in your life that needs to hear this today, take a moment, screenshot it, shoot it on over via text message, or share it on social. And if you do share it on social, don't leave out the hashtag HormoneCEO. Until the next episode, have an amazing day.